Good evening, Star Wars fans, Star Wars players, Star Wars aficionados. I got nothing else. Coming to you live with another exciting episode of Holotheatre. As you can see, Scott is gracing us with his presence once again. Joining us tonight for the very first time is a member of the design team. We got Mr. Ryan Jellison. How you doing today, Ryan?
Doing good.
Glad to hear it. So, how is everything down in LA going with you?
It's hot, but yeah, Santa Monica, we're not used to this kind of heat.
Yeah, up near where I am, it was like 95 today, which was not good golfing weather in the afternoon. But when I played it this morning, it was pretty nice.
Where are
So,
you at?
Santa Barbara County.
Because we are just going into escrow on a house in Thousand Oaks.
Oh, I'm still like a couple hours, but we could talk about that later. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about Star Wars wise. If you don't paying attention last night, Chris Goglin decided he wanted to spoil set 13. So if you don't know what set 13, if the cards are on set 13, shame on you for skipping his show. I believe the spoiler list is out on the forums. I could be wrong. I'm wrong a
Is it
lot.
now?
If it's not, we can get it on the forums. But yeah, we had a lot to talk about. Not only that, there was a huge errata that design and
We're pretty much the same people.
yeah, the same people
To the
decided, you
team
know
team.
what, we need to change things up. So let's
And I
start.
know we're gonna blame Ryan for everything tonight and get
Yeah,
some
Yeah.
make him defend it.
yeah, you're our scapegoat because Chris Kelly
Okay.
has decided he doesn't want to be on anymore.
Oh, passing the buck. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Chris is the advocate. He decides who's his scapegoat,
Minion. Yeah.
and you graciously have taken up his.
No, to be honest,
joking.
back in the day when I was involved in that design and development, it's tough, right? Because you have a team and everyone's got their different opinions, but at the end of the day, you all came together and came up with a consensus on what needed to be done, which is a good thing.
Yeah. I think we agree now more than we disagree. Not like it was years and years ago, but I think it doesn't take us long to get on the same page.
So
Good.
you were part of design a while ago. Like, this is your first rodeo, essentially. You were part. What's some of the sets that you worked on before?
All the way back, do you remember ATRT's? What was that? Block 8? Starting
4?
in block 8 and
8,
block
yeah.
9, I want to say. Right at the end of when HBV Aliens came out. After the 10th anniversary design contest.
I remember that. Yeah.
So that
And
was
then I took a break between sets 7, I want to say, and 9. I think I came back for 10 for about a year or two.
okay. So, like we said, you've been there for a while.
Yeah.
Uh, how is the design process now? Has it changed over time? Has it?
Yes. We used to have a lot more barriers to getting a card from a germ of idea to actually on the PDF
Mm-hmm.
because we used to have a separate design and development team. So you used to have to stamp a card, like get all the designers to agree to it, and then get all the developers to agree to it, and then it would go through proofing. Now it's a lot more streamlined. We figured that all those checks and balances didn't really actually increase the product. It just made it so we never really came out with much. I think, yeah, judging on how huge this set is, and there were quite a few cards that were cut from this set to move on to the last set, so we're much faster as designing cards, I feel.
Okay.
I don't think the quality of the product has gone down any. I also think we're more focused on a few things. I know, at least for myself, one, making sure the cards we put out actually help you win the game. There were quite a few pre-reset Fun Fred cards that would come out that were just, well, that's interesting and thematic, but that has no way helped you actually win a game of Star Wars. To making sure, with GIMP being the thing, card is programmable, making sure
Uh,
it work.
Ryan, are you having issues with your Discord at
Yeah,
all,
I
or
think I'm
Scott?
bouncing it out. I actually turned off my VPN, so
Okay.
my school
Sorry, I
VPN.
think I might have hit something by accident. We're good now.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
But yeah, because making sure things trigger easily, like when things are deployed, when they
Mm-hmm.
die, things that are windows that are easily understandable, and trying because another part of the reset, we said, hey, all the game text needs to fit in the box, even if it uses icons like adds two to power of anything they pilot or upload or download. The text still has to fit in the box, even if it's spelled out. So no more sites acting like effects, no more guys with 6 lines of game text, no more missions. So yeah, I think things are
Yeah.
simpler and better.
Now,
And lastly, yeah, I think we try to design cards that don't stack. We used to have a lot of mechanics. Once we liked it, we kept using it all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
When deployed, look through your used pile and pick any card was way overused. I don't know. There's a bunch of mechanics. Then all of a sudden, slavers. Remember how all those bonuses would stack
Yeah.
into something oppressive? So that's one thing we always look at. Okay, that's great. We used it once. Now we can't use it again because we don't
Mm-hmm.
want things to stack.
Okay.
I do know that sometimes you can break that mold, right? Like the new
Yeah,
Vader site and the new Luke site on Achu. They have
yeah.
2 lines
Mm-hmm.
as kind of a design and aesthetic look. And that's the trick is when to break it and when not to.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. I mean, those sites don't. I mean, yeah, they have the 2 lines and everything, but at the same time, they're pretty important sites. They remind me a lot
Well,
of like Yoda's Hut. They remind me a lot of like the Jedi Council chambers. Those are important Star Wars locations, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
the other thing to remember is they only affect their own sites themselves, so you don't have to go scanning other places for game text. Do you remember the old Rebel Cell sites? There
Oh
was like
God. Yeah.
a whole essays worth of text everywhere that affected all the sites everywhere, and it was I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how we did that before GIMP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Holo Table. I mean, for what it was back then,
Yeah,
was pretty good. But Gemp is just light years ahead, essentially.
yeah. I
And
don't really know if you remember HPV with when it started in effect, Uncharted Settlements with just a whole page of text, and then there was other pages of text. It was just
mm-hmm.
that's what we're trying to avoid is making sure that you actually know where the game text affects what's going on is easy.
And even Decipher broke that, right? Like court
Oh yeah,
adding
Mm-hmm.
plus two forfeit to all bounty hunters. The trick is you try not to do it, and if it has to be done, you can make
yeah,
it easy to understand.
Mm-hmm.
yep,
Yeah, I think like this Decipher really didn't think court was going to be the way they intended, where you hardly see it flip for one. So
never see it. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Like I don't think I've ever seen it flip unless we're doing like a Holotheatre challenge.
If it's a
Even
mistake,
yeah,
IG-88 captures somebody accidentally, and you go crap.
yeah,
yeah.
and that's true.
I saw Sarlacc. I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Somebody was trying to do it with Sarlacc. Yeah, and we had to like, how do you kill the Sarlacc? Yeah,
Defense value 12.
yeah,
drop a thermal detonator down it.
yeah. Pretty much something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I would like to see something maybe designed eventually around a flipping of the court objective, because we hardly see it. And there are some stuff that I would like to see personally brought back from the Legacy era, but that's just me as a like a fanboy of those particular things. But yeah, I like the way that design is going. I like the process. Uh, I
You know,
mean, you guys aren't really keeping it closed doors. You're explaining why, especially Chris
Yeah.
Kelly. Like that's the big thing to me is why you guys are doing a certain thing the way that you're doing it. As long as there's open communication, you guys are working well in my book.
Yeah. There's not a lot of reason to have it be like this secret and as I say, Fight Club about it. It's not that exciting. It's usually just us arguing over whether or not Walkland should exist in TRM and that
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
I think that if anything, the Fight Club, the thing I like about it is it allows players to get surprised, right?
Yeah.
Because if everyone's
Right.
talking about it, it's not so much, hey, this information's going to get out there. It's, hey,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to ruin the surprise that you have to see this card.
Yeah.
And I think that you guys have done a great job. Even the errata, it's out there, but people can still play the way it is right now. And then
Mm-hmm.
come in a couple of days. Actually, I think tomorrow they're going to update
Yeah.
the GEMP, and it'll be nice to be able to try some new ideas. And that'll
Mm-hmm.
be nice. Quick question about all the errata that he was announcing. Which one do you think you liked the best? That you felt was the most important?
I actually was, even though I designed almost all the ISB guys, I was the one who pushed the slip sliding errata, because in my opinion, I feel ISB is only fair if the light side player gets a turn to set up. It's not fair if ISB is so fast they can generate a drain 3 on turn 1, which I've seen, and I'm like, that is not
Mm-hmm.
what it is designed to do. So you either have the choice of, I think it's more fair if you have to start the Sidious site and you're giving up a lot of icons. Okay, you can go that route, or you can go the route I've always gone, like a Coruscant system. Turn 1, do your activation and react to what they're doing, as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to I'm going to generate this huge amount of threat. You have to deal with it, and if you come down turn 1, I'm going to generate 50 power. That's not
Yeah.
a fun play experience for people.
No,
But I'm
and
also
We've done
glad.
it for 6 months now. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Like we've all done it, and it's like now we're bored of it.
We took the chance, and I think that's good that you guys are willing to take that chance,
mm-hmm.
because like even when you look at the FET gun, right? The first time I saw that deck played, I didn't realize you can flip on turn 1.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the end of the day, it's not overpowered. Whereas maybe the ISB, right, it gave you a little too quick of a help.
Yeah.
So it's good to see you guys take some chances, because a lot of those cards work out, and it makes it really enjoyable.
Well, I think slip sliding works in a lot of other. It's just a generic. You can do all kinds of things with it. It made ISB just a little too, because you could God hand into it, like, oh, I force push with Tarkin and Corner Wolf and just explode. You can still do that
Yeah.
without it. I used to play ISB against Old Allies when Old Allies was the best thing, and then it was like, okay, well, I'd have turn 2s where you explode all over, and now I'm at 5 locations. How you deal with Old
Mm-hmm.
Allies?
Yeah.
But you still give them a turn.
Right.
Like shouldn't be able to do that turn 1.
Yeah, like I remember playing the Big Blue variant that Steve Baroni ran a couple years ago at Worlds, and outside of maybe Throne Room coming down to the the docking bay and just kicking the crap out of my guys because I'm stuck at like 3 activation. I thought it was fine. I thought I had a good matchup against mains. I thought overall the deck was in a decent spot. I tend to agree that you it has this possibility of starting the Sidious site. I like that, but I don't like that from a thematic standpoint. I would like to see maybe another Coruscant site for it to deploy, not
Yeah.
in the next set, or maybe down the road a little bit, just for that, thematics essentially. But for right now, I think that's fine.
And
So
ISB headquarters has been kicked around a lot. It's just it shouldn't be a site that reduces the deploy of all your guys.
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
makes sense. And then as far as the errata, what do you think was the toughest one to kind of go with?
Oh, well, not the legend one. I really like that one.
Yeah.
Not the Walkling one. That one, I'm bored of TRM after 20 years. Let's see, what was
I will. They're
tough?
tough, right? I mean, that's the thing is when there's a good reason to have them, it's tough to say this one was kind of on the fence, right?
Yeah.
I mean, no idea got a good hit with.
I was, yeah, well, here's the thing about the no idea ones. Because, yeah, I was one of the ones pushing to change the targeting, just canceling a targeting, because I felt it was unfair that you get to see the destiny, like, oh, Vader missed his choke. I don't have to use it, burn it. Like, you should have to burn it before you know what it is. And also, it became too. It was just no idea was a little too good. We actually went back and forth, like, can we make the damage 2 or damage 1, like, making Decree a shield, like what to do with it. And I think damage 1 makes more sense for because WAP you have to move your guys over. Amidala has to be there. Like it's just and you so easy to shut off. Like no idea is like, well, I've played guys there, and now you're taking direct damage.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but the fun thing about making no idea down a tier is then we can make helpers for it again. Otherwise, it was going to be static for a long time. Because we don't have a General Draven yet. We don't have a blue leader yet. There's a whole host of guys from Rogue One who aren't in the game yet, who now all of a sudden we can make because no idea isn't tier 0.
Nice.
That's a good point. I mean, overall, I like the Legend one. It seems a little bit more balanced. Like, I've seen games in between Texas Mini Worlds and the OCS where it's abusive, where you have one or no resistance characters out there.
No, I've seen it with just like Gold Leader and Tantive or something. I'm like, that's no.
No. Especially with Gold Leader. Like, that was just a little too strong for it. Saw getting he got knocked down a nice little peg. He really did.
I don't actually mind it that much because we were like, so nobody's playing Saw. Let's make 10 men came out. I was like, people should be playing this card. Then everybody realized, oh, wait, he's really good. We should just play him and everything. Yeah. And then it became kind of a design constraint of like, well, he can cancel any interrupt. They're like, who cares? Like losing the top card of your force pile, you can sense anything.
Yeah.
That's way cheaper than sense. But having an infinite trooper beat down cancel, that's fine with me. And he's still really good. It's just I think that was at the power level he should have been at the whole time.
It's exciting.
ISB and adding 4 or 5 a trick. I mean, he's still good.
Yeah, it is.
Got but he's not. He shouldn't be like Luke level amazing. So
no. And I was telling somebody today, I'm looking forward to ISB using 5d6 maybe a little more often and playing it more of a control deck as opposed to a Doomstack stuff, right? One site and then they can't do anything else.
Yeah.
It'll be nice.
I'm excited to see 5d6 again and people using Derone well.
5d6 has won me games.
Oh, yeah.
On his own. Using him plus Dark Waters and Image of the Dark Lord. Yeah. That's right up my alley.
That's why you have Saw on the deck.
Yeah. And, the cool thing about Saw is he's still iconic, right? He can still, adding to the attrition is huge, helps against, it reminds me of the old, who were the characters? Tessic, I think? You deploy him and made him lose 1 force for every character there.
Jay Quill and
Spyjack.
And the
Tennis. Yeah, Tennis Spyjack. But I like the attrition +1. I mean, again, it makes sense. The idea is when he gets involved, everybody dies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well-made card. So it'll be nice to see some of these things, see some of our ideas come back out based on this.
Like, I'm happy with Gideon going to his site because, again, that's more of like the thematic thing where he shows up and Stormtroopers just converge on the light side character, just like in The Mandalorian.
Spoiler.
I like that.
It really was, it had to be at his own site. I think that was a lesson learned because, like, when I made Duro, it's like, oh, well, you shouldn't be able to summon U-3PO anywhere on the board. It's like, okay, no, we shouldn't. One character shouldn't be able to just pull another character and put him anywhere.
Agreed.
Right.
And I think one of the better ones that a lot of people are going to agree with are Ritik. The Eric White Iowa.
Yeah, it's tough, right?
Yeah, it is
tough. I
tough.
don't like that mechanic in any way because I feel like your resources are kind of like your opponent shouldn't be able to do resource destruction in this game. I don't like, you play Magic, Dan, like Stone Rain decks, like it's not fun. Resource destruction in any card game usually never feels fun.
You're right. You're right.
I've never seen one. Because Thrones, playing against Night Watch, steal all your money decks. Every card game ends up with
Yeah.
resource destruction decks, and it's always like, well, I hate this.
Well, it's the same thing with Throne Room, right? Throne Room playing all Twixes, and now with, obviously years ago we brought in simple tricks, so they can't really drain at your sites anymore.
Yeah, simple tricks really is what made Throne Room just ridiculous.
Right. But I think, obviously the card has a special meaning in the community. Same thing with Walkling, right? That was the first player created card, but at the end of the day, we need to make the game more enjoyable for everybody, and it's tough decisions. I'm glad I didn't have to make it, but that's how it is.
He's still playable. It's just not, and you can still do some of the same things. It's just not whenever I did Broken Concentration him on somebody into the first strike, it feels bad. It's like, I don't know.
It's tough, but at least it's not as bad as Frozen Assets was back in the day.
Oh, no. It's not that bad.
That was so much worse, but
a lot more work.
So, overall, how do you guys feel about set 13? Because I know you mentioned there was a lot of cuts made from stuff that you guys...
They've been moved to set 14.
Okay, so they are going to be set 14?
I'll be honest, it's like I'm really excited to do Watch Your Step and try different Black Sun and Alien type things, but I think once set 14 drops, then all the other random ideas will come out.
Yeah.
Because, I have to put WAP on hold, and there's a few other things I have to put on hold until the next set comes out, but I am excited about Watch Your Step.
So, hold on, you said WAP is on hold?
My WAP build, because all the new stuff that I have,
Now I'm curious.
So there is Republic stuff. There's other Alien. There's other things. Everything got pushed because we basically designed 2 sets worth of cards.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever
that
comes out, then playtesting those, a lot of things got pushed back.
Yeah, for those who had playtest and did a lot of the playtesting testing on GAMP, first of all, thank you. You guys are the unsung heroes of the game. You take the time, you test out all the cards, you make sure they work the way they're supposed to work in GAMP. You test them out, make sure that they're balanced. I mean, there might be some down the road that something happens and it gets broken, kind of like the old Shadows effect. But hey, that happens. You live and learn. So,
because playtesting got us, I think, Beckett to the right place, and Rio to the right place, and L3 to the right place. All the smugglers got a lot of testing.
Yeah.
They went through a lot of versions.
Well, I will say we've kind of talked in the past about how much playtesting GAMP has allowed players to do, and I've kind of played a couple games here and there, and I've seen the playtesting on Watch Your Step has been amazing because everyone loves that deck, right? It's a lot of fun. I think 10 years ago, everyone always said Watch Your Step and Hunt Down kind of decide the meta. So I think it's fun to see that deck. I'm not saying it should, but it's fun to see that deck playable, especially with some of the new stuff we've seen come out. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And playtesting is so much more worthwhile when they just post game links and you can just watch it, as opposed to, this is my interpretation of how our game went, and I'm going to do a write-up. It's like, and then you just like, oh, let me see what happened. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So overall, again, the cards have been spoiled. The list isn't out there, according to Bill Kafer. So we need to put the list from Chris's show onto the forum so that way people know. I'm a little disappointed in Chris for not doing that, but that's besides the point.
It'll be done soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. So what are some of the cards that you are, besides like the Watch Your Step and Smugglers, what are some of the cards that you're more excited to see come out of this set? Because there's a lot. This is what, a 60 card set?
Yeah. You said besides the Smugglers, but actually I'm very excited with the way Rio turned out. I don't know. I think it makes people have a lot of decisions, since, should I deploy my guy here to get value, or should I play them over here? Which card do I put back? Like, it creates interesting decisions. I'm actually kind of curious to see if New Ozil, like, because of the fact that he's matching for Vengeance. I mean, it's pretty easy to, create a Star Destroyer deck where, okay, now I start with the Ozil and Vengeance and play that for 8 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty easy space. I think also, Legend is really big, so Executor's not big, but I do wonder if the slip sliding Executor control room will be a thing, because I do like CPV decks. This could be a different CPV deck.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Talking about the executor site that makes it deploy cheaper. I'd love to see that with Expand the Empire in Hunttown.
That would be funny. The one I'm a little concerned about, if somebody does break Senate Clouds, Naboo Senate Clouds.
Yeah, that's been
I've been really concerned about that because I have nightmares about Spice Clouds, and it feels like, I mean, it's really one of those like, oh, you go up against old allies, well, you just lose. Or you go up against like a throne room, and you're like, I'm going to stick ties at Clouds. What are you going to do about it?
Well,
I just feel like it's going to create unequal, like, not very interactive games.
What's going to play the Clouds?
Oh, there's planetary rings that you can then pull the Clouds without having to burn your lot dot pulls. I mean, you could have done Senate Clouds before, but then you kind of have to, like, it slowly find them all with lot dot or just draw into them. Because there's the Senator that makes you lose a force for every Naboo location you control.
Yes, and those count as Naboo locations, right?
Yeah.
You know, what's interesting is with Lightside has been focused on Bright Hope and Tanith for a long time, and they can't go to the Clouds. So it might be time with Watcher Step in the meta, though. That might not be a problem.
It might not be as bad since there's so few Rebel ships anymore that Talon Roll isn't like the oppressive thing in the Clouds anymore. Now that you can't Talon Roll Anakin or Poe.
True.
Yeah, because they're all power and maneuver -2.
Well, you can't. You have to target a Rebel starship with Talon Roll.
Oh no, I know that part, but that's what would happen is they go to the Cloud, their power maneuver -2, and then you basically kill them pretty easily.
Yeah, well, the episode 7 Falcon is always maneuver 6, so it ignores Clouds too. So.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. But it's not a. Is it a Rebel starship?
No.
Yeah. You mean the Falcon? I'm sorry.
Falcon.
Is it a Resistance? I can't remember. Because it never comes up.
Resistance. I think it's a Resistant because. I mean, I played in. Well, that's. Somebody in the chat tell me, is the Falcon resistant? Okay, you can't Talon Roll the episode 7 Falcon.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
According to Justin Desai. It's a resistance. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Justin.
I mean, I'm not say one more card. So, I'm really excited for Larma Daisy in Old Allies. I feel like that's going to, because Huntdown's going to be big. I feel like that's going to give it a head, she's the one that, with Leia is out, so you flip,
Huntdown?
Oh, yeah.
And she kills U-3PO and undercover spies and ISB, yeah. So, I mean, she does a whole bunch of things.
Yeah. She's the
long-nosed girl in all 3 movies, the blonde.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right.
She's the one that got the kiss at the end of the movie, I think, and everyone was like, yeah. And nobody really cared. I mean, they didn't want to make a big deal of it, and then someone brought it up and made it a big deal, and it was like, come on, just enjoy the movie.
Yeah, but anyway, I feel like that's, like, she's going to make Old Allies, especially all the other Rada, like, kind of playable again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that deck needs to be playable so direct damage doesn't run out of control. Because, like, the new Shadows Collective deck is all about direct damage.
The which one?
The Shadows Collective.
The one with, all the Crimson Dawn Blasters and Dryden Boss and Maul and
I was actually watching this show yesterday, and I find it interesting. You could play Savage Oppress in that deck. and it makes me happy because now Chris Menzel's one card might be playable at this point.
He's also got fives.
Fives is playable.
Yeah,
I've played
fives is good in like a WAP deck, but I'm saying like Savage Press, the Destiny, or he's
I've never seen him play.
huh?
I've never seen that guy play.
Yeah,
But,
I've never seen him play it. And I mean, I know the AI is a good looking image. I like that. I don't like the fact that he's a 8 deploy for 5 forfeit, but
yeah. No.
it makes sense.
The other thing I do wonder is if Rops will make a comeback now that you have all these Imperials to draw on their throw.
I've seen a couple
That's a good
decks I've
point.
gotten beat down on by them because if at a certain point they're adding 7 or 8 to their destiny because they're
Yeah.
just spreading out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Cheap, draw on their own guys. I mean,
Yeah.
not that we haven't seen Rops in a while, so not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, Rups was really good last year, last year at Worlds, and I was fine. It had its moment in the sun for a while, and I like where Rups is. So yeah, I'm fine with it coming back for a little bit. Not being like a tier 0.5 or 1, maybe like being a solid 1.5 deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'm excited. Yeah, I like I said, I like the Shadow Collective stuff, so I'm excited to see where some of that stuff is going to go. I want to see. I think it has the potential of being a strong deck, just from reading all the playtesting stuff. Watch your step.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we moved away from like the Luke Jedi. Watch your step. Maybe we'll see Luke in space now again.
Yep. I will also say I think you're going to see. I predict there will be more Commander Luke because EBO and Yops have to do something on the ground with the HDV now in the meta again, or they just lose.
What? I'm sorry.
HDB, player the new hunt down if Vader's they're flipped, all your force train bonuses are canceled, and EBO is going to be very sad.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I saw a game the other day on Gemp. It was Hitco using Commander Luke and Speeder.
Yeah.
So it was a cool idea. I really like the idea.
That's interesting.
I think my favorite card is. I think I still like the idea of Twilight is being able to use Yoda's hut.
Mm-hmm.
I still am going to try to find a way to put Jedi testing in it. Because if you get Yoda and test 1, you don't have to do anything with it. You deploy anybody, and now you can redraw the rest of the game. I don't know.
Don't think it's worth it, but it's a fun idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth card slots and just hoping you draw into it, but
Scott's going to have this perfected by Worlds. I'm calling it now.
I will tell you, Dan, before you could pull any Jedi site or any Dagobah site, and I ran Jedi testing.
That was much easier.
Yeah. It was much easier. But I do like so many of the new ideas. Have the Doom interrupts been discussed at all? Those are going to be meta changing.
Which the Doom
The Doom stack cards.
I don't. Is the new altar been spoiled? I'm not because I forget which ones are going to which set.
Nope.
Right.
I know they're still working on them, so never mind. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that to when it comes out. So
you know what? It's out there, so you guys just talked about it.
I don't know what you're talking. No, I think the idea is right. They're looking at ways to stop immovable objects. Right. If you put every ISB character in Tarkin and Guri, you never lose your stuff. So that's the idea: is finding ways to not to abuse that.
Yeah, there's lots of cards that you have like 5 or 6 characters here, then something bad happens to you.
You know what? I'm fine with that. I mean, I like that. There should be cards that work against spreading and doom stacking. I that way there should be a balance between the two.
That's and honestly, getting rid of weapons display and firepower might get rid of doom stacking anyway.
Yeah.
if you're with a dark side player, stick 10 ISB guys at one site. It allows Diplo. You know, you're not going to play that game with like Diplo or Watch Your Step or something.
No.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad those two cards are gone, and I'm also kind of glad the Civil Disorder and ability are gone. I know Robbie's excited, but that's
We
besides the point.
we argued for a long time, just like, okay, well, we don't really care about with the shield now. The combat part isn't that big a deal. The Senate thing doesn't need it anymore. But giving people access to cheap retrieval, but then nobody played them. If they'd shown up in decks, you know, there would be an argument. But with General Leia and Rose and Scum, and it's like there is a lot of retrieval already in the game, and so
Yeah.
right after the reset, I used to play them all the time, and then just somewhere around set 4, they just disappeared.
Yeah,
I think also because of barriers, because people are stacking so many characters,
That's a good point.
you need to play barrier to stop them from counter beating you.
Yep.
That's how it is.
So since nobody played them, we're like, if there comes a time where we need to give other decks easier, cheap retrieval, we just make new cards.
Yeah. I mean,
So of the new set, what do you think was the toughest card to design? What do you not even giving the text? I mean, what do you think? Like at the end of the day, you look at it and go, Han, right? He's so iconic. Is it tough to make him because there's so many of them?
Beckett went through the most versions between broken and unplayable, and I think we finally found the one. Like, and ironically, like he's better kind of when he's dead, So
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
When he dies, you place him out of play, and from then on, the rest of the game, Han adds a Battle Destiny everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's kind of like Obi-Wan, and I hope she's all right, or I hope he's still gone, or something like that.
That I hope we use other places where iconic people die, and then it's like a learning experience for the other character.
I mean,
it's very
make a better Rey when Leia is placed out of play. I think Rey needs a bit of a help. She's not as good enough, I don't think.
Well, yeah. Don't spoil all our ideas for Episode 9, Rey.
Yeah.
Oh, Jedi.
Well,
I haven't seen anything.
Look at Legend. I mean, Luke goes out of play, and Legend goes from doing nothing to.
It's a mechanic we can use other places because you place the guy out of play, and then it's like I can see his game text. Like it's very easy. Like.
Well, one of the players he's kind of an average player, Justin Desai, I think his name is. When Legend, once Luke goes out of play, I've heard he's been able to play really well because of it. So it's good to see us helping some of these newer players.
Yeah. Oh, dear. So.
Oh, God. Justin's watching, Scott, right?
I know, that's right. But you're right, though. It's cool to see these mechanics. And I've talked about the Rogue One characters. I've talked about the Rebels characters. Just the ISB characters, right? When you guys find a theme that you can put together, it's really cool to see it at work.
The other new mechanic that I'm really excited we need to use more of is the Watch Your Step interrupt. I have a good feeling about that. That was spoiled, right?
We could talk about it.
Okay, I've got a really good feeling about this. It's the idea of when you're behind, better things happen to you, like light side from behind, and things that turn games around as opposed to win more cards. So I think those are more interesting is when a game looks like one player's losing, but then they pull it out as opposed to somebody just getting curb stops.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So we're trying to put more things in. If you're losing, then it does better things for you,
Yeah.
Because this one is like if opponent has more cards in your hand, then you get to draw 2 cards from reserve deck or 3 if you're using Nuhan. Or if there's more dark side icons on the table than light side icons, activate 2 or 3. Doing more things like that. I'm behind. Do cool things for me.
That's been a mechanic that Magic has used regularly, and I like that. I mean, I'm gonna say this: Magic, I have a love-hate relationship with Magic right now, but a lot of the stuff they do, I wish we could try and incorporate our game into this game. It's hard because. The resources are essentially different and everything, but I think some of the stuff that they do can be used and vice versa. But don't
Yeah,
tell
there's a
Wizards
lot
I
of
know that.
things that do translate, and a lot that don't, because Magic has tokens, Magic has life to manipulate. Like, there's a lot of game mechanics in other
Yeah.
games that just don't translate. Where, oh, we're gonna give you card advantage. Well, it doesn't work the same way, yeah, because
Mhm.
we don't have separate life totals, we don't have separate power totals, whatever you want to use. We don't have gold on the side. We don't have other things other games have as tokens to increase or decrease.
But you're able to do stuff
Yeah.
like what cantrips when you deploy
Yeah.
the death march or whatever it is when they die. Um, there have been other ways to kind of utilize it when it's appropriate.
Yeah.
You know what I would like, and Bill actually said this in the chat, and I like this idea. If we had some tokens or something for different like clone troopers, that would be kind of cool.
No, probably
No, we've
wouldn't
Oh,
work.
never
come
had
on.
tokens. No, what would have to happen is that's why Decipher went with the squadron effect. Okay, three
Yeah.
become one card. Like, you just need to do
Oh
more of
yeah,
that.
So
that's what
we
they need.
so we need a clone trooper garrison.
Squad. No, we need more clone troopers
We do
and
need more
different
clone
things.
troopers, but I'm saying, what about a light side, kind of like stormtrooper garrison, not to that, maybe not to that power level, but like a clone trooper garrison.
Yeah,
That
no.
sends 3 troopers used.
Or whatever, just a
Yeah.
garrison. No, that's all those ideas. Are
And
good.
like, here's my next question: we have on Where's Han the symbol for maintenance cost Han. Has that ever come into play? Were you guys thinking that with this set in particular, or was that for like uh, the Han chewing the Falcon?
Oh, that's Han chewing the Falcon. I don't think, honestly, I can't imagine us ever making another maintenance card on purpose.
Okay, yeah,
Um, because the problem with them is all of them is their power level is fine if they stay on the table a while and you've had to pay. Like, Han shooting the Falcon gets expensive. Like, oh, I paid 15 for him over the course of the game. All right, okay, but it's when you deploy them battle and they die, is every one of them is overpowered in that way.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think we had in Legacy we had the Jedi
Mm-hmm.
that was like use one.
Yeah, we had the Jedi Survivor. That was a new
Yeah.
maintenance card,
Yeah.
but I think maintenance effects. The closest we're gonna get is maybe like Major Callum kind of thing. I guess he's supposed to be the bouncy guy.
Yep.
Actually, I had Robbie use him on me in that Jawa format, the Singleton Jawa format thing.
Didn't Robbie beat you in that too?
Yeah, well, he reacted with 3 guys to 1 battle. But actually, I lost that game because I wasn't patient enough to set up Scythe 1. I just couldn't put it together with Scythe type for some reason.
So how badly did he beat you?
Oh, no, we split our games. He won the first one by
Wow.
13. I think I won the second one by 11. I mean, it was, I don't know.
Because
So it's not too bad.
That's not too bad. I mean, Robbie literally in the Slack chat made it out to be like he kicked your butt.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say, because like the second matchup was, I was the Y-Ops and he was CCT, and he drew up before I could retrieve my lost file, because how Y-Ops works.
Yeah.
The first game, though, I wasn't patient enough, and I think he won by like 13 in the end. No, I lost it because I had to draw. He was playing Legend, but I had to kill General Obi, and I was playing drop because in this format, and I playing every 7 and 6 I could, and of course at the moment of like that I really needed it, I drew Lord Sidious. He's like the only one in the deck, kind of thing. It's the way
Yeah.
it goes.
I think I was just thinking about Kier Kanos was the first maintenance character kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You had-
So I mean, maybe something like that. Maybe the more characters are like pay 1, keep them alive, kind of thing. But are balanced characters in their own way, not Blizzard 4s or Broken Pets.
Yeah.
Or,
Broken Lando, Broken Fett, Blizzard 4, like those all ones. Like the Han chewing the Falcon, the virtual one is pretty good, and
yeah,
I
think
like
it's
that.
fine.
I mean, outside of that, I mean, there's the Garrison. There's Thok and Thug as well.
I've been trying to get a new Thok and Thug out, but it's really hard because he's Destiny 5.
Can't we just change the Destiny number?
could.
You know, we haven't done that. Because in Legacy, what they did was printed like Destiny 1 versions of all the maintenance cards that then nobody
Yeah.
played because they were terrible. So we're trying not to mess with characters' destinies, just to virtualize them.
Okay.
Makes sense. Perfect.
Okay. So I think we talked enough about set 13 for tonight. We do have an update. So right now, we are in the middle of the top 8 of the OCS. That's I believe that the second round starts today. I could be wrong on this. Don't quote me. I know that the first round ended yesterday, so a lot of action happened there. As we also have the European Cup going on. We're in the third round because Ryan just talked about that. So we actually have the current standings for those. The H-Town crew is currently in first place, followed by a German, an Englishman, and a Canadian walk into a bar. I love that team name. I believe that's like Bastion, MHT, and
Emil? No, I don't know.
no, because Bastion's the German, MHT's the Canadian, I believe, and I want to say it's Silver Glen.
Okay, the Englishman. Nice.
Yeah, Frost Rosal. I don't. I'm not sure who. What team is that? I know the team names or the team members are on the forums, so if you want to check it out, the bat. I feel bad about the Bad Bunch. I mean, they're the only team who hasn't gotten a win.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What team are you on, Ryan?
The one with Batmouse and Chris Gogolin?
Which one is that?
Tres Americanos?
The Thrace Americanos?
Yeah. You're tied for.
You're tied for fourth.
Yeah. That's good.
I like this. We have a one.
We split a lot of games.
We have a 6-way tie for fourth. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's only 2 rounds. So, I mean, we've split a lot of.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's currently going on. Also, for those who have paid attention with the European Cup and who have gone over to Worlds, they're still asking for donations for the bar, the bar / gaming restaurant or whatever you want to call it. So go ahead and hit them up as well. Also, one other plug. Justin Desai said today that Mike Gem is looking for some donations for his esports league. He coaches an esports league for his school. So if you want to help out some kids and help out a fellow Star Wars player, go talk to Justin. He'll hook you up with the link and everything to help them out as well. So I think it's always good to support each other and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But I think it's time we. Yep. So Justin actually just put the link in the chat. So go ahead and check that out. But I think it's that time we move into swing and a miss. What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
We only got 2 questions tonight. It's going to be a quick one.
okay.
So for the first one, the best image of a card that you have designed is Slave 1, Symbol of Fear. Now, we're not talking about the original version, obviously, because that was the cipher. We're talking about the newer one. And
the one I got for the NPC foil thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you told me you designed that took like 50 hours.
I spent like 3 months in 3D Studio Max and gave myself carpal tunnel doing that one. That was back when I had time.
Yeah, well, the image on the screen, like, it's a good one. I mean, I like it. We use it that's one of our main banners. Like,
yeah,
Scott loved this image so much, so we had to put it on a banner. So
yeah, that mapping bitmap, that skin of it, that took a long time to draw.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to figure out. The 3D Studio Max, because I did college and then I got a free license because my wife was at grad school, because otherwise it's $5,000. But yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you for doing that again.
Yeah.
But it's our favorite card. So when you don't have carpal tunnel and you get a couple months worth of time. You're welcome to try
Yeah, I
something
know.
else.
I can try again.
Yeah,
I
please do.
realize also it's probably I'm best at starships. Trying to do droids and things, it didn't pan out.
So
It's
you
tough.
made some
I'm
droids?
not the photo. See, I'm a database guy. I'm not a art major. So,
What droids have you made?
well, I was trying to work with Jeremy to make the droidica. It didn't turn out like
Okay.
I want to redo that art. It didn't turn out with the lighting and everything.
That's fair.
It's tough.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Like I said, that image is really good. It really pops and everything, so I'm glad you made that one. So, and then, like I said, we got one more question. So, your wife, Elspeth, for who haven't met her, she was the one that carried the team at the Indoor Grand Prix tournament.
Yeah.
I think you're going to agree with that one, probably.
Oh yeah. That last game against Dennis, that was hilarious.
I believe she was playing hidden base mains, right?
Yes. Yes, she
And
was.
the nice thing about that is it pulls the sights. You don't have to really. Obviously, anytime newer players, that's a deck that's so not simple, but it's just it's easy because you pull what you need. You play the characters. It seems like it's a blue and gray deck, as they call it, I guess.
Yeah, well, as a teacher, like, okay, this is what. Sorry about the misses. This is class of savers. This is like we decided. Okay, let's focus on just the ground. And she was playing the Falcon because she did blow up the Death Star 2 the next day. That was good, but that was her only ship in that deck.
Nice.
Huh. Nice.
Yeah, for Westergaard, because it was a bunch of Jedi Lukes, and she drew a 6, I think, for blowing up the Death Star. I taught her, like if you stick Jedi Luke and Solo in the Falcon, there's not a lot TTO can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Yeah, they can't do much. That's good though, and it's tough, right? When hopefully when COVID's done, we'll all be able to play again because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's.
No, this summer I've been teaching her Hunt Down, and it was those games where I was no idea, and she put down 3 Quixes. I was like, can we just start again? First turn, it's like this game's already over.
Yeah.
I will
what
say
did she what'd she play on Dark for Endor?
I taught her how to play ISB, but that was before like Turbo ISB. I just taught her to play Outer Rim Scouts with Den of Thieves. And so you just drain through Chinnaru and cancel all their drains.
Simple enough. Yeah. Nice.
I will say this: you got to teach her about sack shields.
Yeah, I was hoping nobody, and also Grimtosh Monarch. Now that's shielded, so that's another thing.
Now, a quick question: do you have the coffee? You got coffee mugs, right? Nice. Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah.
I'm jealous, but that's okay.
Well, Scott,
I just got to play better.
I was gonna say, did you play in the team tournament?
I believe I did.
No, you did. You played with Bill Kafer. No, you didn't play with Bill Kafer. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Brian Fred. No, you played with.
Remember who I played with?
He was playing with No Idea, and JC. You're playing with JC.
Yes, that's right.
And yeah, no, you were playing court, and you had the game where you and Elsbeth were like, I think you went to time because you were trying to figure out what to do against her Duke stack.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, exactly. It was good though. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
One of their battleground was the generic docking base, so it was like she learned to just put it on Tatooine and stack guys there and make court do something about it.
And there's not much they can do when you've got a whole bunch of Jedi with weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. So that's all we got for Swing and a Miss. So, hey, Scott, I think you want to talk about. You want to talk about your resource of the week?
Yeah. So, obviously we're trying to touch base on resources, and with the errata coming up, the master PDF as of right now and every single set as of right now are updated. We updated it a few hours ago. So if you go on there right now, you'll be able to see every card. It's in every set already. It's not in VKit yet. And then tomorrow, the errata will be live on GIMP. So the images are uploaded and ready to go. In the morning, they're going to reset it. So you can go on and look at everything right now for the erratas, which is cool.
I mean, you could print them out, but that's what, like It's over 100 pages or something.
It's a lot of pages. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
want to do that. And we're working on getting the errata PDF by itself. It'll be up probably tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So I think it's time we announce last week's deck building challenge winner. Our winner, again, this only one person entered. It makes me a little sad. However, the one person who did enter is one Mr. Taco Bill Kafer. So
Nice.
Bill was able to. He actually provided the game link. He took a screenshot showing of what was going on, and he submitted his deck list. So he played and this is the interesting part. He played an Agents of the Court deck, and that alone has me excited because.
What was the challenge though? Right, to activate the most force in a battle.
Yes, yeah. So Bill actually he submitted 2 game links actually. He was able to, in his first one, he activated 9. So okay, it's a good start
During a battle.
During a battle. Then he went a little bit further, and in another game he activated, and this is the same game. He activated 12 in one battle, and then he activated 15 in another battle. So, and he actually showed us how he did it. So for the 12, he used careful planning to activate 6, Space Force speeders, and then their tracking list. So that's how he got the 12. So he activated 6 off of careful planning, 5 with the speeders, and 1 with their tracking. For 15, he used Space Force speeders for 10, R2D2, R2D2, non-virtual, Baru Stew, and then R2D2 again.
So
Good
no
stuff.
blue milk in there, though.
So what?
No blue milk.
No blue milk. Yeah, he didn't have the blue milk in the deck, so
He's in the oven.
He didn't have it in there.
He didn't have it in the deck. But he, like I said, he was playing Baru Stew. He actually had the he had the hydroponic station and the evaporator in the deck. So 2 devices that we don't see play.
No, because they're terrible.
Yeah.
Except for deck challenges.
Yeah, exactly.
So
well, I'm excited about this one, by the way. This week's deck challenge.
Yeah, I like this one. This one's gonna be interesting. But yeah, he had his deck is on the forums under this week's deck building challenge. So congrats to Bill. He did win the foil Holotheatre before. So instead of the Holotheatre, we're gonna give him something new. I'm actually starting tonight creating new cards to send out to people. So I hope to have the images by next week. So I'll have those for display next week. So they're going to be fun.
Nice.
So as for this week's deck building challenge, again, this is a Scott. Scott, you came up with it, so you explain what you want it to be.
Yeah, so the idea is we want you to win a game in league play. And at the end of the game, the idea is to see how many cards stacked you can have stacked on your cards. So that means grabbers. That means back to tank and just leaving the thing on there, and see how many cards you can get stacked. So if you can grab like 10 of their interrupts, that's great. If you can play your interrupts from Watch Your Step and have it stacked on their, defensive shield.
Well, it has to be on your cards, though, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. So you're looking at Watch Your Step, not Watch Your Step. We're looking basically at grabbers. We're looking at back to tank and its supporting credits.
That's a good one.
Tig.
Yeah, there's
Tig.
good in him. So
Hitco would be another good one.
Hitco.
The Graveyard of Giants is another good one.
Yeah. I played a stacks deck that was Obi's Hut start, careful planning with Tatooine Obi's Hut. You play your Obi 1 for 1. You start the credits effect, the Tig effect, and the hyperdrive stacker. And the idea is you put 7-8 cards out, winning battles and draining at the junkyard. So it'll be interesting to see what people do.
Jellison actually said something in the chat that actually has me a little worried. Evac Control and Imperial Justice V.
Times 3. There you go.
No, he's saying like times 20.
They're not unique, so you can play.
You can play as many as you want.
Evacs.
You got to win the game.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to win the game.
Yes.
Okay,
You do have to win the game. So, I think we should ban. I'm going to agree with Justin. I think we ban the Imp Justice and the Evac Control.
No. Well, he's looking. He's going, oh, you have to win.
I don't know.
I mean, can you win with a 30-card deck?
Well, it's less than 30 because, I mean, you're essentially taking 4 cards from your deck with just one of them.
Right. So if you do 10, that's 40 cards. Yeah. So that's ridiculous.
It's much more efficient to stack your opponent's cards.
Yes. So that's I could see playing 10 grabbers, right? Grappling hooks, all the grabbers. I could see maybe
tentacles,
EBO.
Yeah. So that's our challenge for this week. It's going to be an interesting one. And like I said, it's you can either we're going to have some new prizes. I'll stick about the Holotheatres. So for those who haven't won them, but if you have won, you're going to start getting one of these new prizes. So look for those again. Hopefully by next week. I'm crossing my fingers. So put me to work, Scott.
Yeah. Hey, I wonder if he's going to be able to guess the lore challenge.
I wonder too, but you got a tech idea for this week that you wanted to talk about.
Oh, you want me to go over that? Yeah. Okay. So here we go. So one of the biggest problems right now, and maybe you can agree with this, is that late game, you kind of don't have enough resources to be able to activate, battle, swing your sabers, draw destiny, usually run out. And I actually played a game the other day and realized that if you use Recoil and Fear, all your cards go back to your reserve deck. So I was thinking about how could you screw the lights, how can you hurt the dark side? So the first thing is, if you're the light side player, late game, and let's ignore Sabbac because the shields are just going to cancel it.
True.
But I like the idea of being able to use Blue Milk, like you mentioned, or Baru Stew. So let's say, dark side only has a couple force left. All of a sudden, in the middle of the battle, you play that. Now they can't do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And then a good way to counter that for the dark side is there's the Macro Scan V, which lets you recirculate once a game.
Okay.
We've kind of seen Cheer It kind of be used in that way. But for the dark side, you've got Macro Scan, and then I just like the Uncertain is a Future idea. I don't like the Sense as much because of Watch Your Step. When they're flipped, you can't even play it, the combo.
True.
But I think playing one of them, obviously you're using 3 force, you're getting rid of your hand, but you're putting those cards back. And I think that in certain matchups where you're just bringing characters that are going to swing some sabers, not really using interrupts in those matchups, I think it's a neat card to throw in because it'll catch the opponent off guard and give you extra destinies to do what you want. I don't know. Maybe worth throwing one in the deck.
I've done TRM with 3 before, like as a pseudo mess type of deck. I think honestly, that's the kind of thing you go bigger, you don't do it. Like just hold it, because what happens is in the mid game you're going to be holding on to it, and you're like, I have to lose one, and it's going to be that card because you're like, well, and you're going to draw 3, and you're going to be mad about it. If you're playing 3 of them, then you can mess with people.
Yeah, that's true. And then use one late game to kind of help you if it's around still. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, maybe run a couple of them, see if it works. I like the Baru Stew, though. I think that's a good idea, especially when they're tracking or late game. I think that can really mess with the dark side. I don't know.
Blue Milk is one of the best cards in Premier New Hope Sealed.
Okay.
You're starting with 40-card decks, and the dark side player's always sitting there like, well, I can't activate, like, if it's easy to track your opponent's deck in Sealed because it's only started with 40 cards. Like, oh, you play that dark maneuvers, you activate it to it. It's just, that happens all the time.
It's like the opposite of broken concentration in Retic.
Yeah. Yep.
So you heard him in a different way.
Yep.
That's interesting.
So there you go. This is the new meta. Baru Stew, Blue Milk, and Recoil and Fear. You've heard it from me first. Ryan agrees with me.
Well, you know what? If you notice, I've got a really good feeling about this. The third thing is just recirculate your deck.
Really? Oh, that's sweet.
The light side just has you play a Destiny 4 interrupt and recirculate your deck.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
You should
That's
play
it. I probably will. I've never played Watch Your Step, but I'm excited to do it.
Why are we letting Scott play Watch Your Step?
The only requirements is that you have to have 2 smugglers on the table, which
Yeah.
Chewie and Han are in.
Yeah.
Dash.
There's a bunch of
Mirrors,
smugglers. Like, you're going every day.
Wedge.
So
Palace Raiders.
I don't think you're running them.
Oh, come on.
Most light side decks could probably pull it off.
Yeah.
Recirculating is so huge. I'd like to see Descent in the Dark. It's a shame it was errated. That's not in GEMP. That's one of the 40 cards or whatever that aren't in it. But I think a one shot. I'd rather play. I have a good feeling about this, honestly. But it's good to see that in there because that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know Ryan. He gave us a card of the week that he wants to talk about. So
Nice.
Ryan, you want to go ahead and say what your card is?
Oh, the one I told you?
Yeah.
My card of the... Well, I picked Maul Strikes because I heard Chris Kelly on a podcast talk about how he complained about that card, and he didn't mention I was the one who played it out in 2 different worlds.
The dueling part?
Yeah, the dueling part. No, because first time he sensed it, and I altered his sense, and Luke died, and he lost, and Luke died. The second one was... he had Jedi's Resilience it, and then I was like, I'll just play it again, and then
It's non-unique.
It's non-unique. That's so fun to play that card twice. It just when the look on the person's eyes, it's just like, oh crap, it's non-unique.
No, the worst because EPP Maul plus There'd Be No Match for You is just silly. I remember right off the reset, I was playing one game, and this guy had Master Qui-Gon, Mace, and Jedi Luke at a battleground, and EPP Maul came down, dueled 2 of them away, and then overflowed. I think it was Master Qui-Gon, and he just quit.
Because he was power 0?
No, it's something like he just Phantom Menace was out, so it was like so at the end of the thing he took like 3 overflow, and Maul was still there, so it was just he just quit.
The first Holotheatre. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it's not unique, and it's just that card combo. Back in the day, is still like it's hard to lose duels. Yours are +1, and theirs are just whatever.
Well, No Match for a Sith was actually the first interrupt that I talked about on the first Holotheatre show that I did. I love that card. The one it's like you draw destinies. If they match, the Jedi becomes power 0.
Oh, that one? Yeah, that's a little too cheesy, but
it is. It's not very useful.
It's Scott. What do you mean? It's too cheesy.
It's useful on. Can't you play it on defense though? Can't you?
Yeah. If it's just in a battle, use 2 force to draw 2 destiny. They draw 2 destiny. If any of the destinies equal, the Jedi's power 0.
Yeah, it's because it's best for lightsaber combat on defense, but usually then I always just play 3. What is the one where if 2 Jedis attack Maul, it's just battles cancel through the corridor?
Oh wow! Yeah. I haven't seen that in a while.
Better.
I like that one. Now I'm gonna look it up and.
He's gonna make a deck around it.
Lightsaber combat, you gotta have 3 of those in your deck.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. And you relocate them to an adjacent site. I like that.
It's a good card.
Oh no! Stop giving Scott ideas.
Dark side lightsaber combat. You can play Stunning Leader again.
Yeah. And
you play that one. The only problem is, of course, when you go up against like an old allies or Watch Your Step, you're sad as always. But it's a lot more viable than it used to be.
Nice.
Okay.
So do you play dueling a lot at all?
Only Maul Strikes. That's because I like the surprise factor. The problem with playing Epic Duel is you're telegraphing what you're doing, and you're usually dueling Jedi Luke, which is not optimal. Like Maul Strikes is, I'm going to duel Mace, I'm going to duel Master, I'm going to duel whoever.
Yeah.
20 years ago, someone had a court at the first DPC event that was in Normal, Illinois. Someone played court with Epic Duel. So he played court mains and would use Epic Duel with Mara. Invader's Obsession, because I guess Master Luke might have been popular then. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I, you're right. You do telegraph it, and with Maul Strikes, he can duel any Jedi, right?
Any Jedi, anytime you want to, any deck.
Nice.
Interesting. Okay, so we got one last thing to do tonight. This is my favorite part of the show. It's not going to be the spelling challenge, but so we're going to do the lore challenge. So, Ryan, do you know what the lore challenge is?
No idea.
Okay, so the lore challenge is I'm going to present you with a light side or dark side card. I'm going to give you the effect, and then I'm going to read the lore of the card, and then you got to guess what the card is.
Okay.
So, are you currently watching on Twitch?
No, I'm just watching on the Discord.
Perfect. So yeah, we ask if you're watching on Twitch, so that way because we actually show the card to the audience.
Okay.
However, we're going to change this up from now on. So if you're watching, and this is going to be on the honor system from now on, or do you just want to do it with the person who's the guest, Scott? What do you think?
Whatever you want to do is fine. I'm game for anything.
We can open it up to the audience.
See who gets it first?
Yeah, see who gets it first. So I'm saying if Ryan misses, then we open it up to the audience.
Sure.
Okay. So your card. Let me double check it really quick, as I know what the card is. I just want to make sure it is a dark side card.
Yep.
And it is an effect. You know what, Scott?
Yes.
I'm so glad you told us about Comlink, by the way. I just brought the card up on my phone.
So much easier.
So much easier. Okay. Are you ready, Ryan?
I'm ready.
Your card, the lore is petty criminals throughout the galaxy often earn extra money by teaching their trade to initiates. Thievery has become more popular as the Empire tightens its grip.
All right. Den of Thieves? No, Swillicor. No, it's not Den of Thieves. It's Swillicorley?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, Swillicorley. The A New Hope, the thief effect.
It's good.
Congratulations, you are correct.
Yeah, it's a good one. Your first instinct, Den of Thieves. I was about to. That's good.
No, then I thought about it, and then I was like, no, it was the shadow girl thingy that was Shada, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thievery gave it away, I think.
Yeah, it's the one that's underneath Isard. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Awesome. So I'm glad to see that you got it. I think you're the third person ever to get the lore challenge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We don't make it easy.
We don't make it easy. Unlike the spelling challenge, you only had one person ever to get it.
I think next time we should do the one that the lure is just leader and see if they get it.
God.
That's
you know what? I'll tell you what. We can do that, but we have to give a little bit more information, Scott.
The problem is, it's kind of like on 30 Rock. It's like, guess which the homonym is. It's always the other one. Like, no, it was the other card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, only leader, I think, would be Tarkin, right?
No, there's
even the
there's
Jedi
a lot.
pack. Yeah, now I was thinking like one that just has like the virtual cards where we only have one word and it says leader.
No, bad,
tough.
bad, Scott, bad. No.
So, listen, I appreciate you coming on, by the way.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
And, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do for 14. But, we'll, if you want to give us some ideas, feel free to come on anytime and spoil it all for us.
You have to talk to Chris Kelly first.
It's just us.
No.
We're the only ones in the room. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, Chris Kelly doesn't. There is no Chris Kelly.
Just look at my eyes.
So, yeah, I want to say thank you to our guest, Ryan Jellison.
Wait, real quick. Poe Dameron, is that you in the picture? Or did you make it?
No,
it didn't look like you.
Cosplayer. That's just a random cosplayer. I think Jeremy.
Yeah.
Because your name's on it.
I don't think Poe Dameron I'm on it. I remember our design was on the design team when it was.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. I'm looking at something. I guess something I had on it had your name on it, so that might be incorrect. I thought you took the picture.
No, I helped design it, but no.
That's what I got it from then. Okay. Well, I appreciate you
Yeah, I was gonna say.
clearing it up because I didn't think it was you. I knew what you
No,
looked
no,
like.
no.
Yeah, Poe's hair's bushier.
Yeah.
So.
It's definitely not. I just thought maybe you designed it.
Okay.
You did
I
design it.
was on the team at the time. The old argument, yes, Poe needs to add a Destiny no matter what. Best pilot in the galaxy, better than Wedge.
He was good, so I appreciate it. Nice. Good design as always.
Yeah. So again, thank you to Ryan for showing up and coming on today as our guest. Thank you to Scott for being my co-host. Scott, will you be here next week?
No,
Or-
it's my birthday.
Ooh, we got to do something special for Scott's birthday.
Nah, I'm old now.
We're all
45.
Old. We're all old, Scott.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'll be on next week.
No, I
Maybe
think Jerry said he might be coming back on, so we might have to be back with the queso sauce. So yeah, we'll be here back next week, same time, same Twitch channel. Good night, everybody.
Thank you very much.